Hey everybody, welcome back, welcome back. It's been a while since I've been able to do a video here. Now, back in May, just a little catch up here. Back in May, the channel was copyright struck. I had 3 copyright strikes against the channel. As I said in my community post, everything now is cleaned up, but with those copyright strikes, it kind of turned me off to doing any content creation or any detracting anymore. So I took an extended break from that and, just hung out with a couple guys within the community and shit. Just relaxed, basically, right? And it's always suggested that, yes, you should take a step back from Phil or any other lolcow for that matter, just for your own sanity. But now that I've returned, we've got a lot to discuss in the world of tech as it revolves around Phil. Phil got a new capture card, which made absolutely no sense. Phil got a new webcam, the Insta360, which is an awesome webcam. If you don't want a DSLR camera, that is your best bet. If you can't afford a DSLR camera. Then he was going to swap over great PC migration to Cat's PC, which he ended up lying about because that PC that he stated, the 6800, doesn't exist. We'll touch base on that here in a little bit. Now, supposedly somebody has bought Phil a PC. Now, nobody bought Phil this PC. We'll look at it here. I haven't seen this. I was camping all weekend here for the long weekend, so I just got back last night, and I was inundated with DMs from everybody about this new PC that Phil has. So this is the first time I'm watching this. I want to shout out to DSP Memology for doing the clip here for me to use and everything, for everybody to use. Make sure you sub to his channel. So let's just jump right into this. Let's take a look. I haven't seen this yet, so I don't know what's happening. So as I'm doing this, I'm actually going to be working on setting up a new install for my desktop. I want to get it ready for tomorrow. I want to do a complete gut of the system. I want to reload everything because tomorrow the new Diablo 4 season's starting, and I want to jump into that. So I want to get my system nice and cleaned up. So I'll be doing that here on the right. Let's just jump right into the video here. Let's listen to what Phil has to say.
So I worked my butt off to get my Bison to the highest rank possible that I have gotten him so far, which is like 1,600 some points. And climbing, I'm still on the way up, right? And then they reset everything. And that really upset me. It did, because I worked hard to get that high, and for them to just hit the reset button and get me back to square one is a very frustrating thing.
Now, let's just touch base on Phil's Bison here really quick. Phil beat a high-level MR player, hit 1,600 off of it, and then he immediately quit playing Bison and ran over to like Dalsim, Honda, other characters that he's had trying to rank up and master. Phil did not want to drop below that 1,600 because Phil was stuck. He was stuck between 1,450 and 1,550 until he beat that high-level MR Bison. I have been tracking it, then I stopped for a bit and everything, but I am going to start retracking everything for Phil going forward. If Phil swaps over to a third copy of Street Fighter 6, which is looking like it's going to be a big possibility, spending even more money. But Phil isn't very good at Street Fighter 6, but he's also not bad. Phil is just an average player, and you can see that by the tracking that I have done in the past, that Phil is within the 50% win rate range, and he's stuck there. He can't go any higher. The 1,600 was a fluke beat of a high-level MR player that gained him a whole bunch of MR points. If he were to play Bison again, he would drop below 1,600 easily. But he's not going to. He has to keep it there. Now, Capcom has reset for the new season, which was always going to happen, and Phil's angry about it.
So, when that happened, someone contacted me and said, here's the deal. This person is a longtime viewer and fan who has been looking to do something for a while. They were actually waiting for me to do the PC transition, the PC migration from this PC to my wife's PC, and then they were going to contact me about this. But I recently said, well, I'm not doing that anymore. Okay? In addition,
there's a good reason I don't want to get into why he's not doing that anymore. Let's just touch base on Cat's PC here really quick. Now, Phil lied about the specs. Phil said it was a 6800, a 6th gen Intel, what Cat had or has. The 6800 processor doesn't actually exist. There is no 6800 processor. Let it be in HEDT, Intel Extreme Edition, or Core Desktop. There is, however, a mobility processor, a 6820HK and a 6820HQ. Now, these are far worse than even the consumer desktop processors, like your 6700K, your 6600K. So Phil lied, right? That processor that Phil said Kat had in her PC doesn't exist. So this is the 6th gen Intel that Phil was going to be swapping to. Now, this is only a generation newer than Phil's. And you're thinking, well, no, Phil has a 4930K. Phil has a 4th gen. There was a short-lived 5th gen Intel that really didn't do a splash into the desktop market. It was mostly just a mobility-driven node shrink, and then I think a couple Xeons, that was it. And then they transitioned to 6th gen like immediately. So technically it's only 1 gen newer than Phil's. And Phil said that he would gain about 20% performance. No. Phil would lose anywhere from 5% to 50% in processing performance, depending on what Kat had in her system. Now, more than likely, Kat has a 6600K or a 6700K. Either way, it's going to be a massive performance loss because Phil's going from 6 cores, 12 threads, down to 4 cores, 8 threads, or just 4 cores, no threads. So that's a massive performance drop if you're looking at content creation, like professional workloads, things like that. Gaming-wise, you're probably not going to notice all that much in performance, but again, content creation is where that shines. Phil would lose, and he would most likely run into issues if he was going to be recording and streaming at the same time. It would make it very difficult when losing 2 physical cores and 4 threads. That's just not going to happen. You're going to lose performance. So Phil's no longer doing that. Phil stopped. The best course of action for Phil is to just use the mini PC. That is currently what I'm using to film this video. The mini PC is an excellent little system, 8 cores, 16 threads. It's got an AMD hardware encoder built into the iGPU, 32 gigs of RAM. He's got an NVMe drive, although it's not the fastest NVMe drive. It has a lot of latency issues, but whatever, that really doesn't matter. That's where he should have ended up, but he chose not to because reasons. I have no idea, but let's just get back to the video.
They saw that these master points basically reset. All right, getting me back to 0, essentially square one, starting over at master rank with all of my characters in Street Fighter 6. And so, in light of the fact that I'm not doing the migration and all my master points reset in Street Fighter 6, they contacted me with an offer to donate a gaming PC. Okay?
Okay, so this never happened, okay? The consensus is, and this is Occam's razor, right? Phil bought the PC himself using the financing plan off Amazon, like he did with the TV, okay? He probably did this both for the new fight stick that he had bought. He's probably done this and he's done this for this new PC. So there is no fan donating a PC because nobody's going to give Phil like $2,500 to build a piece or to buy him a PC. It's just not going to happen. Even the mini PC, I have a feeling that Phil bought it himself. The capture card that he just got, the new capture card, was probably donated by Racist Kirk. I'm going to do a complete separate video on that because there is a lot to cover on that one here, but I wanted to tackle this one first for the return. Let's just listen to what more Phil has to say here.
Now, let's clarify some things, okay? This is not a used, outdated gaming PC that's been sitting around that probably has backdoors and keyloggers installed on it that they decided to send to me. That was a different situation entirely that we will not talk about today because that's not the situation.
Rich from Review Tech USA. That's what he's talking about there.
This is an actual PC that will be brand new, purchased from a reputable business and sent directly to me. Okay?
Now, what I've been sent, this SkyTech I've never heard of. StarTech I have. That's a very reputable computer company. I haven't heard of Skytech, so I don't know what this company is. We'll take a look at the Amazon listing. We'll take a look at the Amazon reviews.
In regards to this, they said, I would like to get you a PC, and here's some suggestions. And I looked at the suggestions, and basically I went back. I know a couple people who are into PC building and modding and everything, and they understand what's good and what's not. And basically I went back and forth with this very generous viewer for a day or two about this. Like, here's what we would want. Here's how we would do it, blah, blah, blah. And then finally, so here's what we figured out, right? I'm like, we should probably get it off of a website that has like the best value, right? And basically the website was going to be like Newegg. You ever go to Newegg? Great website.
Don't buy from Newegg. There's a lot of issues. If you want, take a look at Gamers Nexus about how Newegg was selling motherboards that were damaged or didn't even work. They didn't even bother testing them. They just put them back in the boxes, put them back on the shelf, and then sold them again. This blew up here. There's also the fact that Newegg is no longer American owned. Many years ago, they sold to a Chinese conglomerate, and the quality of the company kind of went downhill after that. A lot of warranty issues, price gouging, etc., etc. It's not a good place to buy from. If you are buying PC parts online, you should be looking at Memory Express here in Canada, Micro Center in the United States. Those are your best bets for buying computer parts. Otherwise, Amazon is what I will use. If I can't get it through Memory Express or Micro Center, I will use Amazon to purchase the parts.
Website for getting PCs and PC components and stuff like that. But I guess what happened was we kind of agreed on like what what would be good, and they were going to get it. And then all of a sudden, they emailed me yesterday and said, so FYI, I ordered you a PC, but FYI, it's not from Newegg. I was like, what? Why not? Like, whoa. They said, well, with Newegg, I guess it would have been difficult because, they're not shipping it to themselves. They're shipping it to me. I live in a private community. In order to deliver here, you need specific instructions on how to access this community and get into it.
Snort. Did he disable his fucking filters? That the snorts are being picked up again? I haven't watched Phil in a while, so it looks like he's been disabling. His filters are no longer running on his PC. Okay, whatever. It's not difficult for shipping, right? You choose your billing address, which would have been the dense billing address, right? Which is non-existent. It's Phil's billing address. And then all Phil would have to do is provide them with the buzzer key, and Phil would buzz them in. Right, that's all that needs to be done, and the shipping address would be Phil's address, right? That's all they would have to do. They could choose gift option, right? So that this would all be private anyways. So it's kind of Phil's just talking out of his ass here,
and it's not easy. You actually have to jump through hoops. Delivery people here can have a hard time getting in. So
DoorDash
he's like,
doesn't.
I tried to do it, and it just seemed like so complicated. And the fact that they were probably going to have to either contact me or you to get this thing delivered. He said, forget it. So I got you something else. I said, what? I mean, you got me something else. Like, we were talking about this particular model. He's like, no, I got you something else. It's even better. And I got it off Amazon, and Amazon delivers to you. I know, because you got your Victrix joystick, delivered, and other things delivered. So I know that they're going to deliver to you, no problem. And by the way, it's on the way, and it's coming on Monday. What? It's on the way, and it's coming on Monday. Yes. The guy sends me the information on the PC. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, first of all, to be clear, this is not a $5,000 gaming rig. This is not an insane over-the-top thing. You know what I mean? It's not some enthusiast rig. It's, but it's ridiculous. This thing, the components that are in it are quite good. And this guy decided to buy me this weird build. Let me put it this way. There's a PC that's built for use, and then there's a PC that's built just for flashiness, okay? I would argue...
Well, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, what? So it has RGB. So this is the PC here. This is supposedly the PC was purchased for Phil, okay? Flashiness? This is just a generic RGB build. Like, this isn't anything flashy whatsoever. My system is way flashier than this. right? This is what you walk into any store now, like in Micro Center, and they'll have these generic systems up on the shelf, right? RGB and all. And like, what? This is supposed to be some kind of like supercomputer that Phil's I have no idea what he's talking about. Again, Phil has no idea what this is. All he knows is that he can stream from it. That's all he knows.
This PC hits somewhere in the middle because it has really good components in it for gaming, but at the same time, it also looks really unique and weird. All right. Yes. Joe Man just says RGBs on RGBs. This thing has crazy RGBs, which I don't know if I'm even going to be using. Do I really want distracting RGBs on a PC over there that I'm going to have right? It's going to sit right there next to my entertainment center. Okay, it's going to sit right there on the floor. Okay, you ready? Here's some of the specs in this thing. An Intel Core i7 14700KF processor. What the hell does that mean? I don't know.
Okay, so the KF means it doesn't have an integrated graphics processor. It does, but it's disabled. That's what the KF stands for. That's what F stands for. K stands for overclocking, F stands for no video.
That's the processor. Okay? The graphics card. An NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Super. What does that mean? I don't know.
Dude, I don't even know what's going on. Look at this.
Okay, so this isn't the PC. Yeah, this is what everybody sent me. There's a difference. There's a Super, and then there's a Ti Super. The Ti Super being better. So that means this is probably even more money. I'll have to figure this out.
What? I don't know. What is that? Ti Super? Okay then.
Okay then.
32 gigabytes of DDR5 5600 MT per second RGB RAM.
Microtransfer.
So 3200 gigabytes of RGB colored RAM.
3200 gigabytes? Oh. Fuck me. So it's 32 gigs of DDR5, 5600 memory. 5600 memory being slower on the DDR5 spectrum. I run 7200 megahertz memory on my system. Recommended for Intel is 6400 megahertz memory for DDR5, between 6000 and 6400. On AMD systems, it's not recommended to go above 6000 because it'll push the processor and the Infinity Fabric out of 1-to-1 ratio and you'll lose performance. So 5600 is slow. It's not the slowest. 4800 would be the slowest, but it's still slower than what should be in there. The other issue that has to be looked at is if it comes with 2 sticks or only 1 stick. A lot of pre-builts will come with 1 stick of memory, 132 gigabyte stick of memory. If it does, you're not running in dual channel and you can lose anywhere from 12 to 20% performance. And that's huge. So you have to make sure that when you're buying a pre-built that it does come with 2 memory sticks.
RAM. Glowing RAM. Right? Sure. What the fuck? A 2 terabyte M.2 NVMe PCIe Gen 4 SSD.
Why wouldn't it be Gen 5? This is a 14700K. So it should have been Gen 5, although realistically you're not going to notice the performance difference whatsoever. Gen 5 really isn't needed yet. We haven't even touched the top end of Gen 4. Gen 5 and the next one coming up is Gen 6 here next year. The only reason they're coming out so fast now is because of storage, but in real world performance for like gaming or anything like that, or content creation, it really doesn't matter. That speed, it's to the point where it doesn't help anymore. What you're looking at is your random 4K read and writes. That's what matters the most now. Because Windows is made up, and games are made up of small little files. They're not made up of large, huge files. So your 4K random read write is what denotes the performance of your drive. This states here 2 terabyte NVMe, but here it says a 2 terabyte SSD. So again, this is giving me some qualms about what's actually in this PC. Again, I don't think this is the PC that Phil is getting. This is just what's been messaged to me by a bunch of people within the Detractor community. Display resolution, max resolution, 2560 by 1440. There's no monitor in this. No, there's no monitor in here. So Phil again would be like, technically Phil could do 4K with this GPU. The 4070 Ti Super, that's going to be more money on top of this. So this price is wrong. Phil's probably Phil's spending more money than this. Definitely more money. Hard disk is just staying in solid state, so it might just be an M.2 SSD and not an M.2 NVMe drive. There's a difference. An M.2 SSD will only perform at around 525 megabits per second, whereas an NVMe, depending on if it's Gen 5, can get up to like 14 gigabits per second, like huge, insane amount. Like 14,000 gigabits per second, I should say. So that's massive. Let's see, what are these? 2070 Ti. See, again, this still isn't correct. Take a look at the 1-star reviews. Yeah, nothing really there. No reviews. Always check the bad reviews first to see what people are saying. Glass the case was shattered. Again, I've never heard of this company. It seems to be relatively good reviews on this PC. Most of them will be. You do have to worry about when you're buying from companies that are not really known. There can be some like AliExpress knockoff GPUs where they edit the BIOS, and it could be like it could be a 4060, but the BIOS denotes that it's a 4070 Super. But this isn't the PC that Phil bought. We'll have to look for that.
It's good to have a 2 terabyte SSD, I guess. Now, I need to clarify a few things, okay? This PC is for gaming. I'm going to repeat myself. This PC is for gaming. That's what the PC is for. This is why when I said this arrival of this PC is going to change all my content, this is very true. All right? It's going to change all of my content because I'm literally going to have the capability to play every game I want on PC moving forward, right? Any new game, I'll be able to do. Be honest.
Okay, we have to talk about this here because Phil is very. He's not knowledgeable when it comes to this. Okay, so look at this from a performance standpoint. Okay, now right now, I am recording on this PC. This is being recorded at 3440 by 1440 max quality. Okay. Let's see a C here. Let's bring this up. Okay, so we can look at the performance of the system here, right? So we can see that the NVIDIA GeForce is being used 95%. This is just for the recording. Now, the issue is if you're using one PC to play a game on, right? To game on and stream at the same time, performance-wise is not... It's not very good for this, okay? Right now, again, you're using 93%, 94% of the GPU, right? If I were to enable a game right now, then the stream itself, the recording itself would start to lag out. I get drop frames because it's just not capable of doing it. If you're doing 1080p gaming, then you're fine. You should be able to game and stream on the same PC within reason, depending on the performance of the game, what else you have running in the background. Phil's got a 4K TV, so Phil would plug it in. It would automatically detect the 4K TV, would set the resolution to 4K. Phil would hit start streaming, and it would lag out. Not only that, recording to the same drive itself is also going to cause even more performance problems. So, is Phil not going to be streaming with this PC, or is he going to be using his old PC still? Or is he looking for somebody to buy him a PC now for streaming, where he uses this for gaming? Because pretty much Phil is stating that he's going to be using this for gaming and not for streaming.
Street Fighter 6 immediately is an upgrade, and in fact, the person who donated this PC has specifically requested that the day it shows up tomorrow, they want me to set it up and play Street Fighter 6 on it. They want me to play Street Fighter 6, see how it looks, how it performs, does it get rid of any additional input lag? They want me to play it on launch day here, or unboxing day, I guess I should say.
It won't. It won't improve his input lag whatsoever. The PS5 has the best input latency, right? We've been over this before. Having a high hertz monitor higher than 120 hertz won't matter for Street Fighter 6 because the game's engine is capped, okay? It has its own input delay reduction system built in, so things like NVIDIA Reflex do not work. There is no DLSS or anything like that, so that's another issue in and of itself. So this isn't really going to work the way Phil thinks it's going to work, right? And even so, when he plugs it in, there's going to be a lot of overhead. Let's just put it that way. There's going to be a lot of overhead. As you can see here, I'm just recording. I'm not playing any game or anything. I just have Phil playing here. I've got a screen open here, and I've got OBS on my other monitor with some music playing in the background. So, like, that's really not going to matter. But Phil, you're about to fuck everything up.
Setup day, they want me to play Street Fighter 6 on it. Okay? So, yes, of course the PC version. We're gonna be playing Street Fighter 6 on PS5 until the PC shows up. When it shows up, we're gonna set up the PC and we're gonna play Street Fighter 6 on PC. You understand? Okay? So it's gonna be the best version of Street Fighter 6 available.
Well, he's going to need to, one, install Steam. He's going to need to update all the drivers in the system, which he's not going to do. Windows Update's going to pop up. There's going to be a lot of registration information he's going to have to put in for Windows itself, even though you really don't have to, but whatever. He's going to have to set up a Microsoft account because he is running Windows 11 Home, and he doesn't know how to do the OOBE trick to set up a local user on it. Then he's going to have to download Street Fighter 6. As Street Fighter 6 is 80 gigs on PC, and Phil's only got a 500 megabit connection, so it's only going to be downloading 50 megs per second, so it's going to take a while to download the full Street Fighter 6. Then he's going to have to go through, set up Street Fighter 6 correctly. His capture card can only do 4K 30 or 4K 60, so he's going to have to set that all up and everything, because he's going to have to be streaming to his old PC. There's a lot of work to go into this. I don't think Phil's going to be able to finish it today. Maybe for this evening, yes. But probably not for the day stream.
There will be no more issues with dropped inputs or anything because I'm going to have the best version like all the pro players. There will be no more unfair advantage when I'm playing this game against people online. It will be even Steven. Okay? So I'm excited for that, obviously.
This is cool because I'm getting that positive vibe that I had for most of 2017. I'm getting it back now. But now I'm getting that groove back, getting that vibe back. I'm ready for fun stuff. I hope you guys are ready too.
Okay, so that's everything Phil had to say here. So let's see if we could bring up something. SkyTech Gaming. So this is the PC here. Rampage support. they do their own hosting. That's good. See if we can search for the model here. Sorry, but nothing came up. Nothing came up. No data was found for this PC. Rebuilds. Nebula, Archangel. Go to Intel. So they don't have the Rampage anymore. So these are older models. 4070 Super. See, they don't sell anything with 4070 Ti. Clearance. All models. Let's see if we can find the Rampage here. Oh, it's not even listed there. So what is this Skytech? Because there is no Rampage on their site. Rampage starter guide, download now. Doesn't work. That's great. All they have listed is just the NVIDIA drivers or AMD drivers. They don't have... This isn't looking too good. Wow. Okay, so this site doesn't actually work. Well, that's not good. I'm an affiliate. Fuck, it's one of those streamer bullshit ones. Okay, so the Rampage isn't made anymore. So whatever is being bought off of... And I'm not even 100% sure. I'm like 1% sure that that's what he's getting. So realistically... we won't know until Phil gets it. So let's just look at this from what Phil stated. A 14700K F. Great processor, although currently Intel is running into those issues with the processor stability, right? With the 1300 and 1400. Or the 13th gen and 14th gen CPUs, right? If you don't know what's going on, Intel really doesn't even know what's going on either. I myself, I run a 13900KF. I have not had any stability problems whatsoever. Maybe knock on wood that I won't have any issues. But I've had this PC now for almost 2 years since the 13th gen came out. So buying Intel right now, I wouldn't recommend it, especially with the new CPUs coming out here next month. We have new AMD CPUs coming out this month by August 15th. AMD delayed it because there was a quality control issue. It was supposed to be released at the end of July 31st. That didn't happen. And Intel's new Core line is coming out here sometime this year. Plus, by the end of the year, we're going to have new graphics cards from both NVIDIA and AMD, as well as Intel. So, like, right now, I couldn't recommend an Intel build personally. I wouldn't recommend it. If people want it, I would be recommending AMD right now. But it's just not a good time to buy because there's so much new stuff coming out here right away. Looking at what was spent on this PC, $24.99, and that's what everybody has stated to me, that this was what Phil got. This is not what Phil got. It's a completely different system. It's got an even better GPU in it, which is a 16 gigabyte GPU. So I would venture a guess that this would be increased by about $200 to $300. So again, Phil got the $3,000 gaming PC that he wanted. It doesn't look like Phil is going to be streaming from it, and it is just used for gaming, from what Phil has stated here in this video. But we won't know. Right, so is Phil going to continue to use his old PC that is set up incorrectly? Is Phil going to switch to cats? He said he's not going to do that anymore. There are reasons that I don't want to get into. And then there's the mini PC that he can use for streaming. We just won't know. So I'll be on bingo today. I'll be watching King Jad. So touch base with me there. Let's see what happens. Let's see what's gonna happen to Phil here today. Do I think he's gonna get it set up in time to play Street Fighter 6 on? Realistically, I don't think so. I think he's gonna run into issues, especially performance-wise with this system. Once he plugs it in, 4070 Ti Super is typically around a 3080 Ti, a little bit better than a 3080 Ti. At 4K, a 3080 Ti with Street Fighter 6, it won't sustain 60 frames per second at 4K. Let's just put it that way. There will be some drops in performance and everything. Phil's going to have to update the drivers. He's going to have to do all the Windows updates. He's going to have to download Steam and install Street Fighter 6. So there's going to be a lot to do for this unboxing. And then again, hopefully it comes with an HDMI 2.1 cable, because if Phil tries to install the HDMI 2.0 cable, he may run into issues there with it crashing, or with HDCP handshake and just HDMI dropout in general. So catch me on stream today. I'll be watching Bingo with Jad. Let's see what happens, but this is just going to be stupid. Alrighty, buddy, take care.